Ah, nothing doing and nothing goes. And that's just the way I like it. I would have to open my big mouth.
This is the last stop, Mr. Boston, unless you pay me an extra $1,000.
Frank Malone, we paid you to lead this wagon train all the way to California, not Texas. You're not a wagon master, you're a thief.
No one calls me a thief. You haven't heard the last of me, Boston.
Thanks for your help, stranger.
Name's Lucky Luke.
Lucky Luke? Not the famous Lucky Luke.
What about the famous Lucky Luke's famous, loyal, faithful horse?
Mr. Luke, would you consider becoming our new wagon master?
Nope.
Then how about a home-cooked meal to show my appreciation?
Reckon if you insist, but nothing fancy on my account. Little did I know what lay ahead when I accepted Mr. Boston's kind invitation.
3 cheers for Lucky Luke! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
Flowers for our hero, Lucky Luke!
Much obliged.
Where you going, Phineas? What about the rest of the speech I taught you?
Don't want to do it.
For a bunch of lollipops?
Okay, I'll do it.
Just a little meal we whipped up in your honor, Mr. Luke. Dig in.
Thank you kindly.
Have pity, Mr. Luke. You're the only one who can take us to California. Without you, we're lost. Do not abandon us. I beg of you.
Phineas, that's enough.
We have so much misery. We need a wagon master like you.
Phineas, you've made your point.
Then give me my lollipops.
Yep, give him his lollipops. He's earned them. I'll lead the wagon train to California.
Let me introduce you to some of the folks, Mr. Wagon Master. This is our school teacher, Miss Lydia Littletown.
Well,
This is Mr. Pierre, a barber from France.
bonjour, partner.
And this is Ugly Barrel, best mule driver on the train.
Concern wheel!
With the worst vocabulary. And this is a stray dog we found lost on the trail.
No, it can't be.
Gee, that voice is familiar. It's my old friend Lucky Luke.
He sure looks like that wandering guard dog, Bushwhack.
That name is familiar, too.
This day is sure going downhill fast.
And I expect a few more wagons will be joining us here for our trek to California.
Is this here wagon train trekking to California?
Yes, ma'am. That's one of them.
And here comes another. What tarnation is that? I mean, was that?
This was my miraculous flying wagon. I'm Zachary Martin, inventor par excellence.
I'm Lucky Luke, or Lonesome Wagon Master. With the wagon train complete, we was ready to move out. Move out!
I assume that means the same thing as yeah.
Yeah, Johnny!
I assumed right.
So far, so good. Hey, Wagon Master?
Maybe. Reckon it depends on who's hurrying to catch up to us.
I don't believe it.
Tarnation, are you aiming to join this wagon train?
Sure am. Folks in California are dying for an undertaker. Get it? Guess he's not used to a live audience.
Move 'em out! You won't be moving too far without mules, Mr. Martin.
Mules are obsolete, Mr. Luke. Now that I've modified the spring movement of my wagon, allow me to demonstrate. Just release the brake and off I go!
Spring is in the air.
Reckon you're gonna need a ride, partner.
He's not the only one, Luke. My axle's broken.
This axle was sawed through.
Phineas, is this one of your practical jokes?
Nope, never thought about doing that, but it's a neat trick.
With Boston's wheel repaired, the wagon train pushed on. But I had a hunch there was a varmint in our midst. I just didn't know who.
Here! Somebody cut the harness!
Doggone, and there's a good joke I didn't even think of.
Help!
I got you, partner.
He's got him. I'm doing all the pulling. Somebody get me down!
I'll do it. Thought of that one all by myself.
First time that kid's ever done what I've asked him to.
This harness was cut with scissors.
When we find the varmint with the scissors, we'll have our culprit.
We dogs like being well groomed.
I didn't realize there were so many scissors on this wagon train.
Yep, it's gonna be a mite harder than we reckon to find our villain.
Stand back, gents. When I open this valve, my new steam-powered wagon will make history.
I'd say it made more noise than history.
Reckon Mr. Martin's gonna need a ride again.
I heard thunder, but I don't see any clouds. Now I can't see anything. But I hear thunder again.
Keeping my eye out for trouble, we started the hard part of the journey, crossing the desert. We're starting the hard part of the journey, Mr. Boston, crossing the desert.
It's a lot harder for me. I'm the one getting sand in his shoes.
Thanks again for the lift, my good man. And to show my gratitude, I intend to turn your hearse into the fastest vehicle in the West.
That's very thoughtful. But my usual passengers aren't in much of a hurry.
The wagon train was in a hurry, but the shifting desert sands was slowing us down.
Gee, that's a funny-looking dog. Maybe he wants to play. He sure does.
Bushwhack, California's this way.
I was hoping Luke wouldn't notice.
Bushwhack, come back here.
We dogs are supposed to obey. But then again, the ground's supposed to be hard.
Gotcha. You should be more careful in this soft sand. Reckon I should be too.
Bet you thought I was just along for the ride. Well, get a load of this.
Thanks for the help, Johnny. And I'm sure Bushwhack thanks you too.
That mutt can keep his thanks and his fleas.
I'd better warn the wagons to watch their wheels. Uh-oh. I reckon I'm a mite late.
We dogs like doing that trick.
Next time, I'll be more choosy about who I rescue.
Allow me, ma'am. Allow me, ma'am. Despite our efforts, we weren't getting anywhere. At least most of us weren't. Lucky for us, our water supply was holding out. Here's your share, Bushwhack. Us spent a sleepless night pondering our problem.
What a great way to get to sleep.
Mother Nature had dealt us a bad hand. First, we was trapped in the sand, and then she threw it in our faces.
What dramatic imagery.
As day dawned over the desert, I realized I owed Mother Nature an apology. Her sandstorm had freed our wagons. Come on, Bushwhack. We wouldn't want you to miss the wagon train.
What does he mean, we?
As we moved across the burning sands, I kept wondering when the trader would make his next move. Little did I know he already had.
This is the wettest desert I ever crossed.
Dad, blame it, it's empty. This one, too, consign it.
It appears this water barrel's empty.
Consign it, they're all empty.
Someone poked holes in our water supply, Luke.
Oh, boy. Now I won't have to wash behind my ears.
What do we do, Luke? Turn back?
No.
But we can't stay stay here. Dad, blame it, you don't mean we're...
Yep, we push on. And I'll ration our remaining water for the long, dry trek.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Luke. With this new high-speed hearse, I'll race ahead, get water, and be back in no time.
Ready, Mr. Martin?
Fire away! I failed again.
Maybe not. You make a very good rainmaker. Fill the barrels, folks.
Consign it, we're saved.
My invention!
My hearse.
Cheer up, gents. You saved the wagon train. Time to wash behind those ears, Dennis.
Mr. Martin's unexpected rainmaking got us safely across the mighty desert to civilization. And I use that word a mite loosely. This wild town was a rough, tough frontier eyesore. Nevertheless, the men folk felt they needed a change of scenery. The women folk felt a mite different. The wagon train gave Wildtown a wide berth, but things narrowed down mighty soon. Let's hope nobody's coming the other way.
Look, somebody's coming the other way.
Wagons, up!
I wish they'd signal when they're going to stop.
Howdy, partner. Mind backing up to let my wagon train through?
Sure do. Never backed up for nobody and ain't gonna start now.
He's as stubborn as a mule.
Oh, no offense.
What do we do, Luke? It's an impasse.
I got an idea.
Quiet, you consign mule.
Put me down, you scoundrels! You can't do this!
Hey, pretty smart idea, Luke. Moving the wagon by taking it apart.
Yep, now we can all mosey along. And you didn't have to back up.
The ruffians!
Once more, we was moving toward California with no problems on the horizon.
Luke, what's that on the horizon?
Problems?
You mean rain?
Nope, I mean Sue. I'd better scout ahead.
I'd bet my horseshoes I'm gonna have to go with him.
Yeah, Johnny!
I know the man so well.
If we move quietly, reckon the wagon train could sneak by the Sioux. So much for quietly.
Somebody blew up the food wagon.
So I heard. Our trader's been busy again.
Phineas?
Oh, I didn't do it. I was just back here looking for a snack.
How can we continue without the cuisine?
Grub's not our problem, partner. By now, the Sioux has seen smoke on the horizon.
Me see smoke on the horizon. Me better send message.
Chief, look. Smoke on the horizon.
I can see that, but what does he say?
There is smoke on the horizon.
You are trying my patience, Broken Feather.
Don't blame me, Chief. Is it my fault there is smoke on the horizon, saying there is smoke on the horizon?
Mind if I borrow your blanket, ma'am?
Not a chance, Sonny.
Much obliged.
Here, Luke, take one of mine. But what do you need it for?
Reckon the Sioux already know we're here. So I might just as well send some smoke signals of my own. Don't tell me that smoke on the horizon says there's smoke on the horizon.
Nope. It's a, please disregard previous smoke on the horizon that said there was smoke on the horizon. Where are you going, Chief?
To my wigwam. I have a splitting headache.
I see your plan, Luke. We're rolling at night to sneak away from the Indians.
Nope.
Confounded, then what are we doing out here in the damn dark?
That's what I'd like to know.
We're about to break a long-standing Western tradition.
Chief, wake up!
Don't tell me more smoke on the horizon.
Nope, worse. Someone has broken long-standing Western tradition. The wagons are circling us instead of the other way around.
My headache's back. Well, that's what I'd like to know. I quickly explained to the chief that we didn't want trouble, just some food. And the Sioux was more than happy to trade for it. To obtain these trophies, you must be a big chief. So you promise never to tell anyone about your wagon train circling us? Yep, that's a promise. All right, let's move on.
But where's Phineas?
Here I am.
So long, little feathers.
With the Sioux behind us, and despite the traitor in our midst, there was just a range of mountains between us and California. There's just this range of mountains between us and California.
Don't forget the traitor is in our midst.
Wagon on the loose!
Our nation! It's that little old lady. Yeah, I got it! Faster!
Another breathtaking moment. And I'm taking all the breaths.
Don't worry, ma'am. I've got you. Poor frail thing. Poor frail thing is a phony. But where's the little old lady?
Up here, cowpoke.
Frank Malone. So you're the traitor.
Fooled you, didn't I?
He even fooled me.
Now I'm gonna flatten you.
Go, Johnny, go!
So much for Lucky Luke.
Frank Malone.
Your new wagon master, Frank Malone. Now you'll pay me double to lead you over these mountains.
Lucky Luke's our wagon master.
Not anymore, kid. Now fork over your money, folks, or I'll leave you in these mountains.
Confounded, we have no choice. Without the guide, we are perdu, had been lost.
You are a scoundrel, Malone.
You ain't seen nothing yet, schoolmarm. Yeah! Follow me!
But we can't follow that fast.
Ah, no! So long, suckers!
We dogs can follow that fast.
Where do you think you're going, stranger?
to California, but I lost my way.
I can lead you for a price.
Would you settle for this?
Lucky Luke, but how?
Next time you trap someone in a cave, better make sure it ain't a tunnel.
Oh, there's my friend Lucky Luke. I'll surprise him by jumping right in his arms.
Bad timing, Bushwhack.
Depends where you're standing.
Yep, too bad you ain't.
Hey, put me down.
Anything he says.
Good work, Jolly.
A pat on the mane? Is that all the thanks I get for that heroic rescue?
After dropping Frank Malone in the nearest jail, I continued as wagon master until we reached...
California! We're here!
Thanks to Lucky Luke.
How do you call this place, amigo?
Hollywood, senor. And it's the first time we see a cowboy around here. Consigned? You did it, Luke.
Wonderful job.
You were magnifique.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Luke.
Shucks, weren't nothing, ma'am. But ain't someone missing?
It's that dag-nab inventor fella. He never learned.
There's an invention that will never catch on.
Ride 'em, Bushwhack!
My, what a beautiful place. You plan to stay here in California, Mr. Luke? Mr. Luke, where are you?
I'm a poor, lonesome cowboy. I'm a long, long way from home. And this poor, lonesome cowboy has got a long, long way to roam. Over mountains, over